Feeder's empty. Fed them the other day. Little smoke, let them know I'm coming. After frame number 8, I can tell you this hive looks packed with honey across the top. It's got plenty of resources. This frame is really tight in here. There's nectar from edge to edge, all the way through, both sides. And obviously I just dragged the strip through, so I'm going to set this here. And my goal here is to get the apivar out that I had for the treatment up in the top. And let's just take a look and see what we got going on here. I don't even think I need to pull frames, I just look. Capped honey. Lots of bees. Capped honey all the way through, that's a full frame. Capped honey, full face. Capped honey, full face, capped honey, full face. They got plenty of honey in this hive. Capped honey all the way through, yeah. This hive has 60 pounds. It has what it needs to overwinter already in it. As far as honey, it actually doesn't even need to be fed. I'll leave the feeder on, but I can assure you that they've got what they need already for winter. Now I'm going to take these frames and push them back, all in one shot. And that way I could put my frame that I took out back. Now I have apivar in the bottom. I know the wind's blowing, so it's probably loud. Sorry about that. Pushing all my frames together tight. I like them to be as close together as possible. I have to go get the apivar in the bottom box, so I'm going to take this top box off. I wanted to scrape some of this wax off. Brand new white wax. Pretty. It's like chewing gum. Hive is really heavy. All the bees are concentrated on 1 through 5. Ooh, look at that frame, that's ugly. I might have a little something to do with that. I'll make a note, I have some good frames out in the garage. I'll come back and put that back in here. What I'm worried about is I don't see any brood. Ah, Okay, we're good. Carpet of brood. Brood in all stages all the way across. Should note I see more drones in this hive than the other one. Ah, I thought this hive seemed a little more nervous than the other one. I just noticed there's ants all over the place here. They must have somehow had a nest, and the bees look busy doing something, and then I just take a minute and look, and I'm not paying attention, and I see ants all over the place. Little teeny tiny ants. Now this frame is full. Eggs, brood, larva. Queen was literally just here. Nectar and pollen stored on the other side. Full frame of brood, capped all the way through. Same on the other side. This is my winter population right here. That's what these bees are going to be. Pollen, every single frame, every single cell, I mean, just loaded. There's a bee right here doing the waggle dance. It's cool. I'm going to do something that I probably wouldn't normally do, which is take some of these frames that are over here empty and put them on that side, and I want the brood chamber to be in the middle. And I'm going to put that yucky frame that I don't like on the outside, so when I come to do this box next time, I could go in an outside frame and not have a concern. This frame that I want to replace, for obvious reasons, going in position 10. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into this frame, which is in the brood chamber, had brood in all stages, and I'm going to take a sample and do a mic check and see how my apivar did. I'm going to shut the camera off. You saw me do it before, so I'll come back after and let you know how the sample turned out. I finished going through this hive a little further. I did take a peek in the top box while I was sitting over here on the bench after I was finished with my sample, and I found not only did it have capped honey all the way through, but it did have a couple of brood frames. I took the brood frames out, capped brood, and one was full of brood in all stages or really young, and I put it in the center in the bottom box. What I said on my objectives were I wanted to get all the brood concentrated down in the bottom and all the honey up in the top. I took the honey that was in the top and I consolidated it in the middle, and I'm going to continue to feed. Now, as far as my sample goes, my half cup turned up 3 total mites in here. Divide that by 3 and I have 1 mite per 100. So from a threshold standpoint, I'm okay. Obviously everybody would love to have no mites, but some mites is acceptable, and I think I'm going to be okay. I'm done with treating. Now in the fall, later, November time frame, I'm going to come through and monitor again. I want to make sure that nothing snuck in here or the mite population, I didn't miss it somehow. And if I have to, I'll do a touch up with oxalic acid vaporizations just to get them when they're less brood. But for right now, I'm trying to make sure that the brood is not mite infested, so that the next generations of bees that are going to overwinter will be there. This box needs feeding, and I got to replace that one frame. So when I turn the camera off, I have an inspection sheet where I go through and record all my results, and I'll make sure I put on my to-do list. I took that nasty frame and put it in position 10 in the top box. So tonight when I come out to fill the feeder, I'll just do a quick pop off of the feeder, pull that frame, put the replacement in, and then top off the feeder before it gets dark. Number 2 done. Continue down the road.